Chicago saw one of its most violent 4th of July weekends in recent years. At least 101 people were shot between Friday afternoon and early Wednesday, nearly half of them over 12 hours as the long holiday drew to a close. 15 of the wounded died. The last time the 4th holiday spanned 4 full days was in 2013, when July 4th fell on a Thursday and many people had Friday off. At least 74 people were shot between Wednesday evening and early Monday that year, and 12 of them died, according to Tribune data. The violence this year was largely confined to the south and west sides, including districts where the department has installed what it calls strategic decision support centers and predictive technology. Hundreds of officers on overtime were also deployed to those districts. The youngest person shot over the weekend was a 13-year-old boy seriously wounded in Gage Park on Friday night. The oldest person shot was a 60-year-old man in the Lawndale neighborhood. The weekend had been relatively calm by early Tuesday afternoon when Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson announced the arrests of 58 people on drug and gun charges to keep residents and visitors safe in every neighborhood. But within hours, violence erupted in nearly every police district south of North Avenue, according to data kept by the Tribune. At least 42 people were shot between 3:30 p.m. Tuesday and 3:30 a.m. Wednesday. Only 2 of those 42 were shot north of Chicago Avenue. Sunday and Monday nights had both been calm, by summer standards, with 17 people shot over the 2 days, according to Tribune data. The weekend began with 19 people shot on Friday night and 23 on Saturday. The Harrison district on the west side, which had gone without any shootings over the Memorial Day weekend, recorded 14 people shot over the long 4th weekend. At one homicide scene in the district, onlookers peeked around the entrance to the Green Line station at Pulaski Road and Lake Street, trying to get a glimpse of the body of a man chased down and shot early Wednesday. The shooting happened on 2 sides of a popular West Side liquor store. Officers found shell casings and 1 man shot behind the store, next to an alley. The other wounded man fell face up on a sidewalk underneath the elevated train tracks. A garbage can fire burned as officers counted shell casings and draped tape from support pillars holding up the L tracks. A fire engine backed down the alley, and firefighters dumped the trash and pumped water from a tin can onto the smoldering waste. Other scenes from the weekend. The only shooting north of North Avenue happened about 50 yards from the street that marks the west side's northern edge. A 56-year-old man died and a 19-year-old man was seriously wounded around 8:15 p.m. Tuesday in the 1600 block of North Major Avenue, the same block where an 8-year-old girl was shot last August. The house where the 2 men were shot was home to a young man killed last year around the corner. The older man was pronounced dead overnight at Loyola University Medical Center. Tuesday night, a man approached the crime scene with a toddler, who seemed to be just learning to walk as she ambled ahead of him. An officer walked up to the little girl and gently turned her around, while another yelled at her father for walking under yellow tape officers had stretched across Major Avenue. 7 miles to the south, shortly before midnight, a woman searched the 1900 block of South Spalding for shell casings by the light of her cell phone before officers arrived. 2 people walked into St. Anthony's Hospital, a block from Mount Sinai Hospital, saying they had been shot there. Earlier Tuesday, officers found a woman shot on Roosevelt Road. She was in a silver car just east of Independence Boulevard and had been shot around the corner, on Lawndale Avenue. Every few minutes, officers found a few more shell casings, each a little farther from the alley south of Roosevelt. Police found a 42-year-old man in extremely critical condition on Laughlin Avenue just south of 62nd Street, and he was later pronounced dead from gunshot wounds. Neighbors gathered on a front porch nearby and in a smaller group across the street, on church steps, while paramedics worked on the man. The ambulance left after a few minutes with a squad car in tow. Just before 3 a.m. Wednesday, police taped off Roosevelt Road because they found a person shot where the road intersects with Loomis Avenue in the University Village, Little Italy neighborhood. He had been shot about a block south on the 1300 block of West 13th Street. A shooting in the 3400 block of West Crenshaw Street about 10:15 p.m. left 2 men wounded. People nearby said they hesitated when they heard the gunfire but weren't certain because of the frequency of the fireworks. A woman, who neighbors said was the young man's grandmother, stepped to the ambulance to find out what happened. "Right now, ma'am, he's worried about you. He's going to be okay, but he's worried about you," a paramedic told the woman. She stepped away, and the ambulance pulled off toward Mount Sinai Hospital. "I can't go with him?" she asked. Mount Sinai Hospital treated at least 22 of the 101 people shot over the weekend. At one point early Wednesday morning, 5 ambulances crowded into the emergency room's small ambulance bay and a Chicago police squad SUV sat parked nearby.